Hello, everybody, Caden here today with an episode of the Wildlife World, Wildlife Park series. I don't even remember what it's called now. That's how long it's been. So, hey guys, Caden here, and yeah, I'm finally making episode 4. So, rejoice all you who have been begging for its return. It's back, finally. We finally returned to the park. I know it's been like 5 months. Anyway, I've got some updates. We're gonna go over everything you can see here in just a few minutes, over the course of a few minutes. So I guess some of the biggest, most noticeable thing is it actually is starting to look a bit more like a park. I haven't built any exhibits, as you can see. Well, technically I've built exhibits, as in I've outlined them in wool. But if we come down here, I guess the biggest thing I've done is I revamped the flamingo exhibit quite a lot. We also got this really cool, I'm guessing melanistic flamingo, which I think is awesome, and I really like it. But as you can see, I made their exhibit a lot larger. It's a much bigger exhibit now, because I think it used to just be like up to here, so I've doubled the size of it. I used a lot of plants from Biomes of Plenty, and it looks way cooler now. I'm quite happy with it, actually. Anyway, so yeah, that's the flamingo exhibit. I shrank down. Oh, there's a little test mob. Gotta go, buddy. I'm sorry. But we shrunk down the Komodo dragon house type thing. They're still in there. They're still pretty much the same. Capybaras are pretty much the same. All of them are in the little shelter. I built them back there. But two big things have happened. I installed the chisel mod, which I don't think was on the world before, or 3 mods, I guess. World edit, and finally, I installed a mod a couple people have told me to get for a while now, and that is the Zoo and Wildlife Animals mod, or the Zawa mod, because, well, and as I was looking through it, I realized, holy crap, there's a lot of really cool animals in here that are gonna be super fun to put into the zoo. So anyway, one last thing I've changed that we're going to be doing for the rest of the zoo is this. So we'll have the name of the animal, and then this, which I believe is from the Zoocraft Discoveries mod, which is like the status of the animal. So we have the greater flamingo, capybara, and what is it? The Komodo dragons, yeah. Now, some people might be like, oh, but all those flamingos aren't greater flamingos, Kate. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna put like 7 different signs for the 7 different subspecies of flamingo. As far as I'm aware, they're just flamingos, so that's what we're counting them as. Also, the zoo mod, it adds in it adds in several blocks, but 3 I really like. Well, 2 blocks and then a couple of fence materials, I'll call them. So one is this trash can, which I love because it is like the Zoo Tycoon 2 trash can, and that is amazing. And then we also have these little benches, and they're awesome, and I'm totally going to, well, not totally, but I'm really thinking of adding this mod into the dinosaurs world, just so that way we can get both of these to kind of make the park come together a bit more. But also we get things like exhibit pane glass, and if I just go to the mod tab here, we get a couple different path blocks, different couple types of fence materials, stuff like that. There's some really cool stuff here. That I'm very excited to use in the future. I really like this exhibit glass because it's like an off tint, and some people might be like, but I like that because it makes it so you know there's glass here, but it's completely clear, which is just awesome. Although when you don't stack it up super high, there's like a noticeable lip here, so when you do like what I've done for the capybaras, you still have like an actual fence, and I love that. I think that's a really great thing. Anyway, so I guess 2 more main things to go over. So one would be this, and since we're working on the jungle kind of stuff right now, here's all the animals we've got to do. We've got 3 of them done right now, and a bunch more to go, and we'll go over all those kind of exhibits that I've kind of planned out already. We got all the eggs in here, and actually I believe 4 of them are from, oh, I didn't put the gorillas on there. Or are those going, well, no, it's 1 R for gorilla. There we go, that's how you spell gorilla, Caden. I didn't actually build a gorilla exhibit. Well, we'll get to that at some point. But if we quickly head out here and over here, I decided to make myself a like color-coded pattern thing so we can basically know what's what as I start to plan out this exhibit, because well, if you're not aware, I rarely have time to record nowadays, so it's kind of like I set up most of the jungle area, but probably in between episodes most of it will be me mapping out the zoo. So like, where's this area going and that one? So we can just look down here through a couple of the areas we've got. We've got North America, jungle, reptiles, European exhibits, desert, South America, tundra, Australia, Asia and India, Africa, petting zoo, mountain exhibits, aquarium, stuff like that. But yeah, like I think that's gonna really help with the rest of the park and kind of planning it out more, because well, I don't know, it's interesting. So one of the main reasons, some of you might be like, why are you playing this? You said you weren't going to play it anymore. I got bored of playing dinos. Again, not me wanting to quit playing dinos, but it's like for like the last several months, I've done nothing but work on that world to the point where I'm kind of burning myself out, and I realized I need to work on another project. And I was getting really frustrated with this one until kind of just, to be honest, until I installed the brand new mod, saw the new animals I had, and I was like, well, that looks pretty cool. Let's mess around with this. So exhibits we've got set up, we've got the peafowl over here, peafowl, peacocks, Nile hippos, crocodiles, the jaguar and the melanistic jaguar. Those should technically go into the South American area, and maybe this is where South America will start. We'll see. And then we have the okapi, and actually I think that kind of works, because from here we can kind of expand out into the African area, and from there we can expand out into South America, which could be pretty cool. Anyway, so I believe the exhibit I was gonna do today, oh, and spider monkeys are gonna go in here. Also, the world's getting a bit of a weird stutter thing, and I'm not really sure why that's happening. I think the exhibit we're going to work on today is actually going to be the peafowl exhibit. I was going to do crocodiles because they were the most highly suggested, but I want a better idea of what I want to do with the crocodiles first. Like, I haven't really got like solid idea down for the what are they called, crocodiles yet, so I kind of want to wait on that. But let's see. I'm gonna get. Maybe I could actually. What did I put? Oh, I put spruce. That's actually a really good idea. So it's just gonna be a really small exhibit today. Like, we're gonna start off pretty slow and pretty small. Actually, is that 4? Okay, I think we'll actually expand out the flamingos, this little exhibit a tiny bit more, just to kind of give it a bit more space. Also, game sound's finally back, so that's good. But I figure we're probably gonna ease our way into the series once again. I don't want to do like a super big exhibit right off the bat, just because, well, to be honest, I'm kind of afraid if I build a super big exhibit right away and then I'm not entirely happy with the exhibit, it's gonna kind of demotivate me from wanting to keep going, kinda. And then we're kind of gonna do this. If you guys have actually, I don't even know if I've made any videos on me doing exhibits like this. Well, those aren't even exhibits really. They're more like farm animal areas, I guess. So kind of like a cow pen or a pig pen, stuff like that. I often have this style where I kind of just, I swear I've probably done this in a survival series though, so you guys have probably seen me do it. But this little idea of just like randomly throwing some logs and some fences, and man, what is up with this lag? I don't know what it's coming from, because I shouldn't have too much. Maybe it's animals loading in. That is actually quite possible, because despite me turning off mob spawning, apparently animals are still spawning out in the wilderness, which I'm not totally fond of. Also, as you'll notice, I've done fence gates actually for the flamingos, and that's kind of like a twofold thing. It's kind of like in survival, if someone was touring the park, you can get in, but it also, I don't know, I kind of realized I like how that looks. It looks a bit, well, I think it looks a bit nicer. Also, I realized I kinda should take out these ones. Not because I'm gonna put like a rock wall or anything in here, because I want to stray away a bit from the rock walls, but because I want to put like a slight incline into the back of this exhibit. this. Let's see. Well, that's looking good. Let me see. Video settings. We don't really need 12 plus normal. That should be fine. That should hopefully decrease lag a bit. Man, what is... Is it all... Is there like a ton of eggs or something? Let's see. Oh, what is it? It's F3A. That to reload all chunks. No, that was not the button I was looking for. I don't know. I'll figure out the lag situation. It's probably something simple I can fix, super easy. But yeah. Anyway, it's... I feel weird saying it, the series is back because, you know, I've been very adamant about not wanting to return to it, especially recently, but I don't know. I think the biggest problem was, I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of hard, it was kind of hard to want to come back to the series after the fact I built 2 other parks before, and both of those parks I felt were vastly superior to this one. Like, I mean, this park isn't terrible. I mean, it's barely even started, so, you know, it hasn't really had a chance to develop a personality or anything of any sort. But, you know, I mean, we had the mega park like 2 years ago with the massive savannah area, and, you know, that park was not only like just a massive, in my opinion, wonderfully built park, it was also super popular. Like, you guys loved that park. I mean, I think the vast majority of my most popular videos are episodes from that, from building that park. So it's like, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, build a new park in the shadow of what was so great of a park. So I think that's going to be interesting, just kind of, so, well, I think that was like one of the biggest things kind of keeping me from wanting to try and build a new park is just, you know, when you have something that was so great, and then another thing that was so great, it's like, you know, how do you really build another thing that kind of lives up to that? And that's ironic because Dinos is that exact thing. It's building the same kind of idea over and over again. Granted, I think Dinos has a bit more individuality to it because each park is a brand new, different world and a brand new style, whereas this is basically the same style multiple times, which honestly sometimes makes me question why you guys love it so much, but I mean, it's still super popular. What blocks do I want? Well, what have we used in common so far? Okay, so that would be podzol, grass, coarse dirt. Okay, so those are the most common blocks. And we'll like, we should also dig out a little like water thing like over here. All right, and then we can like line this completely with podzol and coarse dirt. All right. And actually, I want to see, I believe, because I have World Edit installed. Let me, coarse dirt and podzol don't show up. Never mind. I was gonna say I could probably just use a command to make, what is it? Sorry, when I'm building, well, if you guys have been around for a while, you know, when I build, I sometimes struggle to speak and build at the same time. It's something I should really work on, which is honestly kind of funny to me because there are a lot of times where I can't focus on a single thing and I kind of have to do like multiple things at once. So my brain requires me to multitask sometimes to focus, and then there's other times, which seems to be mostly when I build or when I paint anything, where I kind of just like can't do more than one thing at a time. All right, so then we'll do like this, kind of get like a very jungle floor pattern for these guys, and then let's see. But yeah, so I was like looking through why I didn't feel like I was super interested in like finishing this zoo up and like actually getting it going, but I feel like, especially once I kind of got the outline going and felt like there was a lot more of a plan for this zoo and like what was going to be in it, I don't know, it felt like it was going to be a lot easier to actually get all that stuff kind of going and rolling. We'll build some andesite rocks. So it looks like actually the vast majority of the exhibit should be coarse dirt, and then grass and podzol kind of make up like the minority. If I'm following the previous exhibits as a reference. Let's see. So kind of like this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good base for it all. And then chuck in some rocks like we had with the Komodo dragons. And actually, there we can probably, advantage of being next to all these exhibits is like, you know, I've got all these blocks I want like right next to me. You can take some small stone pillars as well, just to kind of chuck them around like that. And then, what do we want? We'll probably want some leaves. And just kind of do like that. Although, obviously there's the problem, especially with this kind of fencing, that like they can get out. So, gotta be a bit careful of where we put this. Do like that. Okay. Wow, man, this is really, the game is really like stuttering, and I'm really not sure why. I don't know, there must be something up with the game. Maybe there's like a memory leak or something. That's easily possible. Or I have some stuff running in the background that's causing this. But if we quickly, and then we'll loot plants, which is kind of a funny way of putting that. Me just grabbing plants to throw in, because I think I have a pretty good selection for this exhibit. I'm actually really happy with how this one looks. I don't know, there's just something about the flamingo exhibit that I think just turned out super good. Oh, that's cool. Where was that from? That was from Biomes of Plenty? Yeah. I didn't realize there was a short version of it. So why are these ones short, but the other ones I had were tall? Oh, because they're like two separate types, I see. Okay, well, I think that looks kind of cool. We don't have anything for the dead grass, so just place some damp grass around. Kind of give it a bit more of a like very lush kind of feel. And probably throw a lily pad or two into there. Some ferns in and around the exhibit. And then obviously like it'll need trees, but I kind of feel like recently, both in the Dinos world and this one, I've had far more of an urge to have custom trees than the default Minecraft trees. And I think that's, well, I think it's partially because I think they'll look nicer than the default trees do. Problem is I don't really know how to make custom trees very well, so I'm gonna have to like figure that out. But yeah, this is starting to look pretty good. Then we could probably put like a fern over here. And then do like, so we have, well, then we can do some more grass, maybe some more damp grass over here. And let me see, how is this looking? That's actually not too bad. And then actually throwing leaves back behind the fence over here to give a bit more of like an overgrown look. We'll probably, because I mean that's kind of what we used to do in the like the original park was we would usually throw like trees in the very back behind exhibits, so that way it would kind of like fill up the space and give like a more interesting backdrop to it. So let's just chuck some like leaves in the back right there. All right, I actually am quite happy with that. Which is kind of weird for me to say, because I feel like this is usually the thing, like I'd be like, I'm not like the happiest with this. All right, and then we'll chuck trash can right there. We'll throw some benches right here. Decent view. Oh my goodness, holy crap, it's killing itself. Game is actually murdering itself. That is weird. Yeah, I'm actually really confused as to why it's doing that. Do I want to throw some trees in? Is this the bamboo tree I really liked back in the day? There was a bamboo tree I used to love. Oh, yep, it is. I might actually just throw some of these in. Because they're not like traditional kind of trees, but I think they may also fit quite well with this exhibit for some reason. Well, I think it's because it's like a jungle theme, right? So having like a jungle kind of tree in it, I don't know. I'm actually quite happy with that. Obviously I want to throw some more stuff in. Oh, that's another thing I want to mention. So we have the entrance to the zoo here. It's not gonna stay right there. It's gonna move at some point because I don't think this is a good like entrance really. Also, I think I have 3 peacock eggs. Animania. Where's the I'm trying to see. Where is the... Alright, so we should have a couple different types. I think this is the exotic birds mod one. Okay, and then... Whoa! That's actually really cool. Oh my goodness, it is stuttering like nobody's business. That's crazy. But I actually really like that. I like that we have a couple different types. That definitely makes the exhibit a bit more interesting. All right. Actually, let me pull. I need to look up something real quick. And then we can end the episode. Actually, I should put shaders on so we can, because I used to do this back in the day before, like I could actually use shaders in a full episode. But yeah, trying to think here. Yeah, I used to use shaders just for like this part of it back in the day. Huh. Let's see. All right, so if we quickly, I need to do the sign and the item frame. And then I believe these guys are a least concern. And we will do the thing, and then there we go. And that should be our peacock exhibit. Oh, yo, these are the Animalia ones. They actually blink. Oh, that's so cool. That is awesome. I think, yeah, it needs some more foliage in here, so I'll work on getting some more foliage in. But yeah, I actually kind of like that they can hide, because you can't necessarily see them all the time. And I like that about my exhibits, because I mean, even these guys now, they can kind of hide a lot better than they used to be able to. Not super well. Oh no, I didn't think of the glass not really working with the Komodo dragons. Maybe I'll have to find another shader pack for this series. And then we'll show off the capybaras. So yeah, I know it's a really short episode in terms of what we used to do, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get a couple more animals in. I'm actually really interested in doing the hippos next, and that'll be a longer episode, but I think that'll be a really cool one to get in. We'll get the hippos, then maybe the crocs, monkeys, the okapis, and then the big cats and gorillas, and I think that would be really cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're looking forward to hopefully more of these episodes coming out, more animals, more park stuff. And if you have any suggestions for what I should do next, leave it down in the comments below. And until next time, guys, see ya.